we're pleased to be joined by the man himself, Kyle Schwarber. Kyle, we appreciate the time. You've had success in the big leagues. You've had big-time seasons. What was different about this year for you?
I think that's great. That's a great question. I think just having a good off season, having a good plan, and always kind of this being a self-evaluator of yourself and being honest, and always coming up with things to work on. I think that's the biggest thing. This game's continually, it's always evolving, this game. And, for you to keep being productive and keep being a player who's going to try to help your team win on a daily basis, you just have to keep adjusting with the game and doing different things and trying to close different holes, or just trying to just make adjustments as fast as you can, and just identifying different things on a year-to-year basis.
Oh, Kyle, it's Tom Verducci. Congratulations on being a finalist. Let's dive a little bit deeper into what you're talking about here, specifically against left-handed pitching. I know you've worked so hard over the years with Kevin Long especially. You've gotten better and better and better. And this year, another level, career-high slug against lefties. What is it about either the mental or mechanical approach to facing left-handed pitching that has really paid off for you?
Yeah, I think it's both. That there are mechanical things that you have to do, but there's also a mindset as well. I think the mechanical and the approach and the kind of different drills and all the different things that you can do to work on facing a same-sided guy. There is a lot of work that has to be put into that, but also too, just the mindset, right, of taking in a bat and not viewing it as, I'm facing a left-handed pitcher. You used to kind of play that game back when I was younger, and you just felt like you had to get 10 hits and one at bat, right? That just being able to be present, take your bat in that moment, and having a solid approach, having a solid plan, and trusting that your work, that you've done everything to prepare up to that game, is going to translate when you're just going out there and competing.
Kyle, just to cap that off, I'm looking at the screen, 23 home runs against left-handed pitchers. To bring clarity to how significant that is, there are 26 teams in baseball who didn't have that many left-handed hitters hit home runs off of left-handed pitching collectively. So that's fascinating that one person is able to do that, especially with some major teams out there who have multiple power left-handed hitters in their lineup. But I want to give you an opportunity to talk about the challenges of being a designated hitter. A lot of time being a designated hitters are underappreciated at times, especially when it comes to MVP voting status. But you see a lot of guys who are really good at it, and you see guys who struggle with it. What are some of the challenges of being a DH that you feel like don't get talked about enough?
Yeah, it's hard to complain, right? Because you're trying to, you see your guys out there and you see how much work they put on a daily basis in the field, and how they can be grinding on a lot of different things. If it's, fielding, trying to get better at ground balls or fly balls, better routes, whatever it is. But, also too, just in terms of, you take away that aspect of the game, right? That you're kind of used to this playing your whole life on the defensive side. And, sometimes when those 0 for 4s or whatever it is, it might come a little bit easier, if you go out in the field, you make a play, you throw someone out, whatever it is, you feel like you saved a run in a way, and that kind of made your day. Now, it just kind of comes down to you in the box, and having a solid approach, having a solid game plan, and feeling like that you're on a day-to-day basis trying to, you're making a difference, you're making an impact in that game. And, everyone knows hitting in the game is, it's very challenging, right? And there's going to be more days than not that you might not have your best day at the plate. But, you just have to be able to internalize that differently, and you have to be able to deal with it in a different way, and you have to go about your work in a different way as well. The way that you swing in the cages versus being out on the field taking BP, or swings in between at bats, whatever it is that all those have to kind of be, monitored and, realizing that, this is what you do. You're trying to impact the game on the offense side of the ball. And also too, you have to make sure you're not overdoing a lot of different things and trying to stay in a really good spot and not overworking yourself in a lot of different areas just because you feel like you're not producing for your team. That's
a great point, because I think I would go to a really dark place if I didn't have the opportunity to go out and make a diving play on defense. Those 0 for 4s hurt so much more. But as I go through your last couple seasons, 2 amazing seasons. Great season as a leadoff hitter a couple years ago. Last year, moving down in the lineup a little bit. Over 130 RBIs last year, still over 100 RBIs the year before. If you were managing Kyle Schwarber, where would you hit that player in your lineup?
It's a great question. I have no clue. Wherever, and I'm glad I always say this. I go, I'm glad I'm just player number 12, and tell me where to go, right? And I'm going to do it. But I just want to go out there and I want to perform and I want to help the team win. And I felt like these last 4 years in Philadelphia have been, it's been such a great time in my life to where you've been able to kind of grow into a player that you knew was in there, and that there's still much more room to grow. But, just having a lot of relationships and feeling like, you're making an impact on other players as well, and just trying to, have fun every single day. So it's been a blast. And like I said, I'm just happy I'm player number 12.
Well, player number 12, you have an incredible resume to take into free agency. I know it's super early, but what are the kind of things that are important to you at the beginning of this process?
Yeah, that's great. I don't know. I just feel like I have so much more left to, I want to win. I love winning. I've been on many winning teams and been in the postseason pretty much every year except 1 year. So those are things that that's why I play the game. It keeps you up at night. Anytime you get knocked out of the postseason, doesn't matter if it's in the first round or if it's in the NLCS or if it's in the World Series, it hurts just as much as the last one. And when you win, and I had that taste at a young age on being on a really great Cubs team and having that opportunity just to play in the World Series. It's just the most addicting brand of baseball, the postseason. And, that's why we play the game, is to have a chance to get into the World Series. And that starts with, winning a division or finding a way into a wild card spot and playing meaningful games all the way into September. That's just what this is about. And that's what I dream about, is going out there and trying to get another chance at winning a World Series.
Kyle, those are very impactful words, almost as impactful as the wall art behind you with a nice little credo. I'm wondering, does it say it's the life in your years that matters? Is that what it says?
And in the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years.
That's beautiful right there.
Right.
That's quality stuff.
Written by the great Kyle Schwarber.
Right, that's right. Hey, Kyle, thank you very much for taking a little time for us. Enjoy your off season, enjoy the hunting, and good luck to your Indiana Hoosiers the rest of the football season.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Go Hoosiers.